is just fantastic.
Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Today we are going to be taking a look at the newest upload from the Amber Lynn of Reeds, or Amber because that's her actual name. This video is titled, This is a Huge Change, starting an SSRI, which, for those who don't know, is a selective serotonin reuptake inhibitor, you're welcome, and Cook With Me Weekly Vlog Blah Episode 10. Mostly downvoted, and the top comments, you, Amber Reed, have never, not a single day in your life, suffered in silence. Taking medicine should make you nervous, being 500 plus pounds should make you nervous. Girl,
the number of pill organisers you've ordered.
Yeah, you know your life's a struggle when you're having to do that, just to stay alive, while you continue to make poor decisions. This is a re-upload, I'm confused, which it isn't and it's a weird one. And lots of us have hypothyroidism and we're not 500 pounds. Problem with Amber is everything's attributed to something else, but she'll never do anything to make it right. To fix it, to make her life easier, blah blah blah, any excuse, am I right folks? Okay, the video is lengthy, so let's see if we can find the best bits. Or just bumble our way through it until we find something equally dumb. That won't take long though, will it?
Good morning, you guys. So, if I look tired, I am tired. And if I look like my eyes are swollen, probably because they are. Sometimes you just need a crying session literally right before you fall asleep.
No one cares, Amber. There are things in this life more important, like where's Rarity? There are other things more important in this life, like why are you still here? Seriously? It's impressive at this point, but equally depressing. Unless you intend to show us you with your fake tears, because things are mounting up, too many things going on, you're so hectic, girl. No one's going to believe a word that comes out of your mouth. With all the diagnoses that have been going on in your life of late, and you not showing us an iota of actual proof, I'm going to call sus on everything that happens anyway. Including you claiming to have been crying. It's hard to tell if you're swollen because your face is so full anyway.
So I actually have my doctor's appointment today because if you guys watch my weekly vlog, my doctor's office was sending me text messages of when like a new appointment was popping up because my appointment wasn't for a month. But I kept clicking accept, well, responding with the word accept, not quick enough. I finally did it, you guys. I finally did it.
Recently on this channel I did a live stream covering some of this, and my apathy became a bit too obvious. No one cares that you're trying to get an escalated appointment because you want to get put onto something. You want your GL whatever one because you want to cheat code your way through something and now claiming your gallbladder is the reason you're not getting onto it. Yet you're eating foods that don't help your gallbladder in the slightest. We know you're not eating what you say you're eating. We know you're eating more. Don't try us. You now being a hypochondriac is hardly a surprise. Although you've been one for a while, let's face it. And you do milk every tiny indiscretion that your body wreaks upon you because it's the fault of everything but you now, isn't it?
It's crazy because this doctor's appointment went from, oh, I'm excited because I want to be on Zipbound and I want to talk to my doctor about it, to, oh, I'm anxious and nervous because I have an elevated D-dimer. I'm still having this really weird pain. If you guys haven't seen my video, I've been having just like this sharp left pain.
So I had to look this up because I remember when I streamed on Saturday, I didn't know what a D-dimer was. It is a protein fragment released into the blood when a blood clot is broken down. D-dimer tests can be used to help diagnose or rule out conditions like deep vein thrombosis or pulmonary embolisms. Unless you intend to prove this, Amber, I don't believe a word you're saying. I honestly believe you're still using WebMD and further using telehealth as a way to obtain your confirmation bias that everything could be possibly wrong with you. At your size, I could believe you have multiple blood clots. And if it's where you say it is, get it fixed, you silly bish. It's not overly complicated, but until you're diagnosed, I still don't believe you.
I feel it like down here, and like I was feeling it at one point like through my boob. I felt a little bit in my back. And I think about it, and it is reminiscent to a few years ago when I was getting CT scans on my lungs. And at first they were like, you could have lung cancer. And then it moved on to a blood clot. And then it moved on to a collapsed lung. And then it moved on to walking pneumonia. Like, I got my results back literally like a week ago. And I still have that weird...
Because you share these stories with us, but provide no actual evidence of it, I don't believe a word you say about what you're telling us. Because your weird pains could either be a stroke, at this point I expect one, It could simply be muscles being pulled because the gravity is doing a number on them. But because you're not providing evidence to what you're claiming the diagnosis is, we're all just sat here like, what is the point of this video? Like, what is the actual point? Your content went from you just eating excessively to being bedbound, wiping your ass with a washcloth, to literal non-tent. And it's been that way since you moved in with Wipey. You've been doing non-tent for years, and your audience are checking out now. You know you've done goofed when those that make videos on you start to make more money than you do, and you might be okay with that for the time being, but as your views continue to diminish and theirs don't, you will only have 1 or 2 options available to you, and that would include copyright claims. But I don't think you'll do that, because you're not smart enough. You'll just claim you're too hecticana, and then do even more phoning in content of nothing. You share, overshare, undershare, and claim not to share at all. Okay? Well, how about this? Prove your medical history, or start doing things to help your life. The simplest thing you can do is the one thing you don't do. Walk.
Plus, I really want to test again for diabetes. So I did a whole fasting. I haven't ate for over 12 hours. There's just a lot of boxes that I want to tick off and talk to him about. It no longer is a fun little, ooh, Zepbound, ooh, weight loss injection. Now it's like something deeper and scarier, and I'm just not really excited for it. I'm really nervous.
Well, here's a solution for you. Much like your content, you are phoning life in right now. That's all you do. I know this because the next thing you're about to see is a cue card that says couple days later, because you're a dosser. That is a very much verifiable, immutable fact. In science, we don't go about proving fact. We prove high likelihood. With you, it is verifiable fact. You are a dosser that does nothing. Your views are tanking because of this. You're in decline only propped up by the videos where you did eat food, where you were at least honest enough to eat what you actually ate. You just lied about the portion size, like the jasmine rice from back in the day, anyone remember that? Yeah, serves 2, everyone. Instead of doing this, phoning it all in, allowing these things to hold you back, why don't you actually get off your shelf bottom and do something? You would rather spend all this money on pills and medications to keep yourself going rather than tackle the root core of the problem, which is the very thing holding you together, the blubber. It would be cheaper for you to get a PT. It would be cheaper for you to go for a walk. You buy Fitbits, you buy them all the time. It's the dumbest thing ever, especially when there are fit apps on phones. Instead of going for all these little novelty accessories to make it seem like you're doing something, stop worrying about your cankles and go for a walk. Lift your legs up properly. Stop blaming it on the lymphedema, lipedema that I don't believe you have. You just have South Park legs. Until you prove you have it, I don't believe you. And the same applies for everything else. Put some actual effort in. You can live a better quality of life if you try. I do believe, though, like Chantal, the only way you're ever going to do that is by being offline. Because for as long as you're online, you are enabled to continue being this person. So I guess you have to be proactive in 2 ways, and at least be willing to the risk to do it. Something which you're not willing to do unless you can use it to milk for views. In this case, oh my gosh, my health is diminishing. I'm several years older than you, and I don't have anywhere near this many problems. None of mine are physical anyway.
Hi guys, so currently at the vet again. It's actually 2 days later. I have not filmed anything since after my doctor's appointment, but I talked about kind of a little bit of what happened at my doctor's appointment in my weigh-in video, and for those who do not watch, I'm going to edit down a very, very condensed version of that for you guys here.
You're welcome. Oh wait, there's more, because the Suffering in Silence quote's here as well.
I'm absolutely, without a doubt, suffering in silence.
Yes, nothing reeks of suffering in silence more than putting it in a vlog, where you continue to talk about, oh, but my mentals, I feel everything so deeply, I'm an empath, guys. I'm like depressive. I'm not going to knock anyone with depression, but when it comes to Amber, I'm somewhat on the fence as to whether or not there's any validity to it, and she needs to prove this crap, to be honest. Naturally, she was screened by a doctor, and then ended up on an SSRI.
Long story short, I was prescribed an SSRI to help with my anxiety, my lows, my depression, and to help with like the deep feelings of having BPD.
What I love about what she said is there are some common side effects to SSRIs. These include anxiety and agitation. So I guess to an extent she might feel a bit anxious and start lashing out, which could well make her content entertaining. It's unlikely, but it could happen. There are other physical responses, including from the mouth and from the bottom, but I'm not going to go into that. They're quite common. I'm impressed that you would willingly want to go down this path of just more medication rather than address the core problems. But you go through therapists like I would a packet of Smarties. You just open your mouth and welcome it all in and hope for the best, that you don't choke on something. In your case, unless they shower you in platitudes, you're not interested in actually being a better person or healing. You just like to moan about it. You're very English in that respect. Don't culturally appropriate our stuff. We're not okay with that.
It's not going to help regulate my emotions or anything like that. Like, I have to work on that myself.
So we know it will never be dealt with then, Amber. You're not the type to work on a solution, you're only there to create problem. Again, if you can phone in your content by moaning about your failing health, physical and mental, you will do that instead because it pays your bills. I could believe you went to the doctor's office and cried your eyes out in front of the doctor. I really could believe that. I remember when I was screened for depression, I remember what happened. I didn't cry because I'm a man, but I remember how I felt and I remember talking to them. They don't offer help, they offered a way of coping better while I dealt with the issue myself. We are 8 years removed from that day, and while I'd like to believe the issue is mostly resolved, I am still very much reliant on help. There is nothing wrong with that, by the way, Amber, but as a lot of your problems come as a consequence of your poor decisions, you need reality to come back and give you a second round.
I do not have diabetes. I'm not even pre-diabetic. There is something that I'm going to be going on medicine for. Turns out I have hypothyroidism. That's so hard to say for me. I don't know why. So people who have that is a leading cause of weight gain.
Yes, and I'm sure you'll attribute it to the fact you gained 3 pounds in this way in video. Don't think I didn't notice. Remember, I covered this on a live stream. I'm now understanding why people think it's a re-upload, because any excuse for you to phone it in, add a little extra content to one video to pad it out for those extra ads, especially after the last video you released before this one was 4 minutes long. No one's going to forgive you for that crap, by the way. You come up with every excuse to a medical diagnosis being the reason why you don't do something, and then you just present yourself sat down in some place, or stood in front of your bookcase with books that are never touched, as a way to make it seem like you're more mobile or like you've got so much going on, guys. She's a hectoconic girl. Really? You're a sedentary girl.
Like, I've constantly been like, it's hard for me to lose weight because of my lymphedema, my going through menopause at such an early age, the hysterectomy, like, the list can just go on.
I promise you, on behalf of the internet, no one cares. Do you know why? Because you are right there listing reasons, according to you, but excuses to the rest of us why you won't do something. There are people that walk through pain to accomplish great things. Anything worth doing is usually painful. I've gone to the gym and done shoulder day with tendonitis in my shoulder. I promise you, it hurts like hell. Sometimes you just have to push through. You just have to. By the way, not ideal, but it was just one thing. And it wasn't going to stop me, and like 2 weeks later I was fine. Don't be a doctor, don't try me. My overarching point remains, and I wouldn't be surprised if she would then say, oh, I went to the gym once, guys. I had a smoothie and then put my shoulder out lifting it. Okay, I see you've reached the age where phantom pains just randomly appear. I say phantom because they're not real for you. Everyone else, but they will actually happen. I swear I once put my back out lifting my phone up off a bar. A few hours later, I was fine. But it happens as we get older. Not that you'll get to that age, so don't worry too much about it.
So updates about the elevated D-dimer. My doctor said it could be due to when I had cellulitis or COVID. He isn't even sure what is causing it, so he's just guessing. I forgot to mention that in my weigh-in video, but I think it's because I just didn't think that it fit the video.
I like at this point you claim your doctor is guessing as well, because how would they know for certain? Without running a whole battery of tests that I have no doubt you can't give the insurance for. No offense intended to anyone in the medical field, but if a doctor acts like that, they're not a good doctor. But then at the same time when it comes to you, it is all guesswork because you've WebMD'd the rest, and all they have are the symptoms, and they don't want to always just agree with you, as if your ego isn't too big as it is.
But I start all of my medicines tomorrow. I am nervous to take any medicine, let alone tons at one time, and I'm also going to be taking one for the inflammation. I did mention that to you guys about a week ago, where I was like, I don't know if I want to take it. The ER prescribed it to me. My doctor suggests that I do it because of the pain that I've been feeling, because it could be due to like nerve damage, or it could be muscular.
You realise based on this could, would, should thing, that it's not definitive then what you claim it is to what it might well be. Might, like could, means absolutely sod all. But precautionary, that's fine. You seem to make it imply you're eating M&Ms. I've no doubt you have no issue swallowing any of this stuff, but at the same time, your anxiety is undoubtedly because you thought to yourself, but do any of these cross over and cause me harm? If you're on a battery of different things your doctor would have thought of. I think your only issue is whether or not they'd be effective at your side. And don't think here for a second anyone's going to think or believe when you have anxiety taking pills when you took a non-FDA approved semaglutide. Don't try us. You and your any excuse to act like a paranoid little twerp. Little being used somewhat ironically in this statement.
Etc., etc. He thinks that'll help with that. It's called meloxicam.
Meloxicam is typically used to treat arthritis. This includes the inflammation, swelling, stiffness, and joint pain. You're welcome. This is my area of expertise. I miss the good old days. I could show you the chemical formula for it if you like. If I get like 1 like on this video, I'll post it at some point in the near future.
So it's a lot of different medicines at once that I'm going to be starting on the exact same day. It makes me nervous. But I ordered off of Amazon a pill organizer because I need to take this seriously.
If by the end of this video, which we won't get to, she has acquired more than one because hectic and weird hoarding collecting thing, yeah, don't be surprised. She'll see one, think it's cute, and then trivialize, tokenize her needing to take all these pills just to keep her alive. I understand when you're a lot older, a lot of help with supplements and pills. You're younger than me. This is not the life, I promise. You could be so much more if you actually bothered to look after yourself. And since the next clip you're about to show is you cooking, we both know that's not possible.
Alright, you guys. So I'm just making some food. Right now I have some onion that I just chopped up. I'm going to be using some lean beef here with some olive oil and garlic spaghetti sauce. Instead of using pasta, I'm gonna be using French style green beans. I'm also gonna be adding some minced garlic. I was gonna add pepper, lots and lots of pepper. I love pepper. Some garlic salt.
When your food is so bad, you have to pre-add spices to it before you even add the sauce. You know your food is low quality and your taste buds are defective. Pasta sauce doesn't require much to be added to it, if anything at all. It really doesn't. Additionally, you don't know how to cook onion. You're welcome. You then go on to try some drink you've never had before, and then present this food as if it's comforting, and that is your meal, and only your meal. You are over 500 pounds, and you're eating a serving that I would eat, in size that is. And I weigh 195. There's no version that is the only thing, so don't try me, and that is all of it. Trying to remove your carbs or lower your carbs will not deal with your satiety problems either. But who am I to judge this, eh? Just smaller, that's all really. I'm just a hater.
Hello, it is the next day. So, about an hour ago, I took my first thyroid medicine. I'm taking levothyroxine.
What I love about these medications she's on, diarrhea is a common side effect. Heat intolerance for this one is quite common, as well as a fast heart rate, which she would undoubtedly attribute to anxiety. Just thought I'd share that with you.
I just ordered Chipotle. With my Chipotle, I'm going to be taking my meloxicam. I suck at pronouncing these, which is for my inflammation and the pain that I've been feeling on my left side. And I'm also going to be taking my first Zoloft. I'm so excited. I know it doesn't start working for like 5 to 6 weeks.
You might be one of the very first people I've ever seen that is excited to be taking Zolofts. One of the very first. It's never used in a positive way, or spoken as such, certainly in popular culture as well. It is one of the most well-known brands. I'm somewhat surprised they go with the more extreme option, but I guess money. Although, no confirmation you have any of these diagnoses or conditions. So I'm just gonna immediately now say I'm discarding all of it in favor of Tic Tacs of varied flavors, shapes and sizes. You're welcome. This video is another pointless entry in Amberlynn's non-tent, but it does highlight the level she's gotten to create content. Solely centers around her talking about her diminishing health, physical and mental, which is quite tragic really, isn't it? You are a vlogger that does a daily recap at best. You phone it in and expect people to still watch you. You're losing audience. Unless you get another Belgian contingent for an electric boogaloo, your career is going to end in the next 2 to 3 years, either because your body gives up or because your audience well and truly parts. You have time to fix that, but it starts with you finally doing what's right by you and not what you think is right by you, because what you think is completely antithesis to being right for you. Of course, you'll ignore everything I've said because, well, you blocked me on your channel. You're a coward. Anyway, as we're done, I'd love to know what you all think. Do let me know in the comments down below. I shall be streaming on Twitch tonight some Euro Truck Simulator 2. Hope to see you there. If not, have a wonderful day, and thank you all very much for listening.